Everybody, we are live, and we're going to we're about to start here in just a second. I've got Jonathan Wayshak and Mr. Daniel Govar. We're going to do a mic check, make sure the audio is good, and then we'll get started. So just a heads up about that. If you're listening and you know that the audio is good, it sounds good, let me know in the comments. That would be great. How do we sound?
I can give a small note. So usually a small little note.
Yeah.
Since there's nobody in the seats, if you could stay close to them, sort of, when you're talking.
Got
in order
you.
to get you all in the shot, I got to pull way back, and I don't want to pull back.
And then show. Okay. So.
That's when.
Yeah, but.
Next to the easy.
Yeah, I can stand back around there. So. We'll see. Jose's going to come back and let me know if the audio is good. And then we'll get started. It's going to be a fun interview, guys.
Everybody freaks out about that, and honestly.
I want to save the details. Well, I'm going to wait until Jose tells me that our audio is good. Oh, that's good. Okay. Oh, they can hear me okay. All right. So I think we're good. Guys, you ready? Are you ready?
We're ready. Yeah.
Let me know. Hey everybody, I'm Justin Underwood. We are at the 2024 OAX Original Art Expo, and I'm here with two of those artists. I've got Daniel Govar, and I've got Jonathan Wayshak, and we're in the lakeside kind of gallery, and what's around us is a bunch of original art from Marvel cards specifically. And so we're going to talk about you guys, but we're going to talk about cards as well, because both of you have had experiences with trading cards. Now, I'll have to just confess, Wayshak, I've been saying your name a lot lately on the Spidey Hiss channel, and the community has, because you just finished, well, you didn't just finish, but just released was the 2023 Fleer Ultra Midnight Suns, which you did a ton of art in. And then, just one second, and then Govar, you've done Star Wars, right? Have you done any Marvel card art?
No Marvel art yet.
So Star Wars.
Yeah.
So why don't we just start with you? So why don't we get an introduction? Tell us what you're doing and what trading card art you've done.
I do a lot of cards for the digital apps that the Topps does. The Topps Star Wars card.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is almost as popular as the print cards now.
Yeah.
The demand for them has been insane. And most of the cards get translated into print cards down the line.
Down the line. So eventually it becomes a trading card of some sort.
Like 6 months to a year, sometimes 2 years before it actually hits a print version of it.
Yeah.
But things like Hera and some of the others have already started hitting print now.
So in the Star Wars space, you've done what trading cards that are physical cards?
Most of my Ships and Pilots series, I did a whole series for them of Ships and Pilots. Hera is one of them. There was a Biggs Darklighter that's in one of the sets. Oh man, there's so many Ships and Pilots.
There's a lot of them.
I think I did 30 or 40 of them, and I would say at least 10 of them have hit print now in the Galaxy Chrome sets.
Very cool, very cool. And then Wayshak, obviously we just mentioned 2023 Fleer Ultra Midnight Suns. Have you done any other original art for Marvel trading cards that you can speak about anyways?
Yeah. I've done a couple of sets a couple years ago. One or two sets. I actually don't remember. It's been quite a while. It was definitely before pandemic, but it was like Marvel cards like Ant-Man, Gamora, Drax, and characters like that.
Yeah, and I know it can, sometimes you get asked to do art, but they don't always tell you or are explicit about what set it's going to go in sometimes, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the process is.
Yeah.
I just kind of get my assignment and I do the paintings to the best of my ability,
Yeah, because in the Marvel trading card community, Fleer Ultra Midnight Suns is the topic of the day, right? Okay. In fact, this is Deathlock right here, and can I show the camera?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm just going to zoom in real quick here for those. And I know a lot of our viewers are going to be familiar with the Deathlock, which is amazing, by the way.
Thank you.
What is it like to create art for a set that for a character that you know is going to be translated to a trading card?
First of all, there's the nostalgia aspect of it, in that when I was a kid, I was really big on the first cards, the first two sets,
Yeah.
the Marvel cards. I forget what they're called.
So
I was like-
1990 Marvel
yeah, the very
Impel?
first
Mhm.
one, and like I was particularly wanted the Arthur Adams cards. So
Yes.
like, when I get a job like this, it's more like it's more for the nostalgia of like I want to do something that at least, I mean, I can't live up to those guys, but like at least attempt to live up to what those guys did. So that's the first thing. So I'm super excited about it. But then the challenge comes in, which for me is I paint really big and I draw really big. So having to work small is actually difficult
Yeah.
for me. So I try to come up with a technique that would work and also reproduce well. That's why the art's kind
We
of
have
small.
tremendous detail in your work, and that can be difficult to translate down. But I think you nailed it for
I hope so.
Midnight Suns. Yeah. You know, the Wolverine is the most popular character that you did, and the people have responded really positively to that one.
I'm glad to hear that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Do you do any original art with Marvel at all?
Not with Marvel, no.
So Star Wars, and then what else?
Star Wars and mostly book art. I do a lot of fantasy novel work.
Yeah.
Things for, oh my gosh, I've done children's books, I've done comics, graphic novels, you name it, I've probably illustrated it at one time.
Well, you know, fantasy books, fantasy art. A lot of the Marvel card artists are there. Can I show your book here?
I'm currently doing
So,
the omnibus series for Naomi Novik.
Yeah.
She has a book series called Temeraire that Peter Jackson bought the movie rights to.
so Peter Jackson. I mean, I think everyone knows this. We're talking about Lord of the Rings
Yeah.
director is going to be directing.
Oh, well, he bought the movie rights.
He bought the movie rights, so we don't know what he's going to do with
What
it.
he's gonna do with it,
And this original art is here, right?
yeah. Yep.
Oh, very cool.
And some of the interior pages as well. So it's a 9-book series that they're consolidating
Yeah.
into 3 volumes, and I'm illustrating all of the books.
Well, I'm seeing your style. Honestly, this is for me really experiencing it, talking to you right here for the first time. Are there any Marvel trading cards from, say, the 90s that influenced you in your style?
Oh, I mean, I'm a big Joe Jusco fan. I think everybody is
I
really.
mean, who is it?
Yeah.
He had a major impact on all of us
Oh,
with his
yeah.
92
Oh,
set,
yeah.
for sure.
The masterpiece. I mean,
What about the Hildebrands?
Oh,
94.
huge Hildebrand fan.
So that's who I was thinking about
Yeah.
whenever I asked the question.
actually, like, from the Lord of the Rings background, I have a big Lord of the Rings buff. And,
Yeah.
I have signed pieces by both of them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, before the brother passed away. So.
Yeah, that's incredible. Hildebrand, I mean, left an indelible mark on the trading card community with the 94 set, both of them, obviously. And anytime, you know, you see someone's art, you can kind of point back to that and say, look, yeah, it looks like they were influenced by them as well. So,
Oh, their process is really what kind of like got me into using, my own photography in the pieces.
very, very cool. If you could pick a Marvel character to do for a trading card,
Oh, man.
who would it be?
I mean, Wolverine's everybody's favorite. So.
He's already got them. So
Yeah.
no, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
A Marvel character? Oh man, that's a really hard question.
I understand. Look. I get asked all the time. Who's your favorite?
Galactus.
Galactus. Now that's interesting that you say that because I hear artists also say they don't want to do it because of all the line work.
I will bring all your Galactus to me.
I like hearing
I will
that.
eat Galactus.
You could take
So if you're doing a Galactus, does that mean Surfer is like tiny?
I mean, he's like a pinprick.
That's good. The less Surfer, the more Galactus, the better. That's from my buddy Norn. So you did Wolverine recently, and I think we talked earlier. So that was the character you wanted to do, right?
Yeah, that was definitely a character I wanted to do. I didn't get that character, or I didn't think I was going to get that character, so I was pretty surprised. So I tried to
There you go.
kind of go all out with this character.
So I'm gonna hand you a couple of pieces, and you tell us what we're looking at here.
Oh, so these are like initial drawings of what I did for the Wolverine piece. I was trying to like just do transparent paint and actually have all the line work shine through, but I kind of realized that it wasn't going to reproduce. It was too small. So what I did is I made copies. This is actually the first version of Wolverine. There's a second version over there.
Yeah, you got it. But Jose, my helper, is going to show the
that
camera.
version right there is the one that I eventually made a copy of, pasted it to the board, and I painted over.
Yeah, and then now he's going to show the painting.
That piece right there, that's actually not the final painting, because what happened was I did the painting, I had some extra time, I painted over it and redid the painting. I didn't like the second version, so I wiped it off, and it actually destroyed aspects of the original painting that I already scanned that was in the printed card.
Yeah.
So that's a touched up version of the original painting that is close, but it's not exactly like what was printed in the card.
It's still incredible. I mean, however it got to what I'm seeing here is still special. And the trading card, I mean, universally I've seen people respond to it very positively. And I'm trying to think of the artists that I hear people mention that they like. I can't remember the artist that people connected to.
Oh, usually it's Sam Keith.
That's what I'm trying to say, Sam Keith.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sam Keith is actually what I was
Yeah.
trying to think of. It just wouldn't come to the top of mind. But, I mean, that's a compliment.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, Sam's actually a friend of mine now too. So,
Is he really?
it's that's kind of a.
Is he open for sketch card commissions? I'm just kidding. So that's actually a good point to transition into sketch cards. So you've done original art for the cards. Have you done sketch card work as well?
Years ago.
Years ago.
I think I did it Upper Deck. I don't remember.
Yeah?
I did them for that one. I did like Walking Dead ones,
Oh, yeah.
and yeah, I did a few more, but I'm just like having trouble remembering right now.
Yeah.
Because it was, quite honestly, it was quite a while ago since
Yeah.
I did sketch cards.
Daniel?
I've never done sketch cards.
Yeah.
Never.
Oh, wow. Well, the Marvel trading card community really loves sketch cards. It's a big aspect of our community. And it's interwoven into kind of the history going back to 1997, where, Stan Lee, John Romita, Bill Sienkiewicz did sketch cards that were pack pulled, right?
Right.
I actually didn't know that, really,
Mm-hmm.
back then?
Yes.
So I actually did, now I remember, I did sketch cards for DC. That was
Okay. Yeah. Well, we say DC stands for don't care, but that's that's all right. No.
Oh,
we're-
is this a Marvel
It's
specific?
a,
Oh, okay.
I'm on brand. Just to
Okay.
say. Now, Batman's in the top 5. We'll
Okay.
allow that. And
All right.
Superman is the quintessential superhero.
Batman always get a pass.
Yeah, but he is cool. But we are primarily a Marvel card community, and
Okay.
like I said, we're in the gallery of Marvel trading card art. Is sketch cards something that you're open to doing or would do? Do you see yourself doing those in the future?
Possibly.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I really love doing like book covers and big pieces.
So book cover. So do you know Dan DeSantos?
Yeah.
And have you seen his Marvel card art?
Amazing. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah.
Obviously a book cover guy, right?
Very much so. Yeah. we're actually working for the same publisher.
Ah, that's cool. Okay, so Govar, why don't you tell us about this piece here? Let me show it to you.
That's the wraparound cover for the book that the Naomi Novik Volume 1 of the Temeraire series.
Yeah. So that is it's the wraparound. I see it now.
Yeah, well, it's a lot sturdier than you think. And then there's actually a piece underneath of that.
Yeah.
Now
That's an interior plate.
interior plate 4.
There are 9 interior illustrations inside of
Got you. That's what I didn't know that terminology. So when you see an illustration in an interior of a book, they call it a plate.
Yep.
Okay, that's fascinating. And did you do all 9 for the book?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I also did, if you take the dust jacket off, we created seals and plates, or stamps.
Yeah.
So there's a silver stamp that's on the outside. And I also,
How does the original art buying community react, say value or price wise from a cover to a plate? How big is the difference?
the cover is obviously I would say 5 to 1 at least.
Yeah.
Sometimes higher than that.
Sometimes higher than
10 to
that.
1. The interiors go for a lot, but the cover is obviously there's only one.
There's only one, yeah.
And usually it goes through a rigorous process. There's actually a pencil version of the cover.
So you do a preliminary.
Yeah, we actually do multiple preliminaries
Okay.
of different takes on what the cover could be. I usually break down 10 thumbnails, which are about that big,
Yeah.
and it's just which one could be a cover. They narrow that down to 4, and then I illustrate them like this.
So-
just pencil versions.
So I have a question. I want to come back to you on this, but I want to start with you, Wayshak. So when you're going to, take the time to create a character for, Marvel cards or whatever else, what is your prep to get to know that character, to to be able to illustrate that character in a way that you understand it?
Well, when I go through the picking process, I try to pick characters I kind of know. Midnight Suns was a little hard because it's different from Midnight Suns when I was a kid. So there's
Right.
a lot of characters I just did not know. So it was just a matter of just researching them and kind of figuring out just visually where they're at the moment. But they're the characters I am familiar with. It's actually, I mean, obviously easier because I have like some kind of relationship with them, like Wolverine. And especially the Domino painting I did was that I was strictly going off of the old Rob Liefeld comic and some Jason Pearson comic I remember,
Yeah.
like from a ways back, and that's kind of what I was basing it on. So I'm basing it off of stuff I enjoy. And apparently I guess there's a side story with Domino now that I guess she's Demon Domino or something.
She
like
was
that.
demon possessed, is what I've been
So
told.
I
Yeah.
guess people thought that's what I was illustrating. So that was kind of interesting.
Well, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And so with illustrating book covers,
Right.
do you have to read the book first?
Oh, I read those books ages ago. Yeah.
Okay.
I actually approached Naomi to do a graphic novel adaptation, and we started doing one, and then the movie rights got bought out, and they buy all the rights.
All the
they
rights,
buy
yeah.
For a movie, so all the right, we couldn't do anything on the property for a while. So while that was happening, I went on to doing a lot of Star Wars work and just working for other publishers, and then the omnibus rights came back up, and she reached out and said, "You're my first choice."
Oh, that's cool.
Like, please, please, please. And mostly because the characters there's a big size variance that you have to worry about. It's kind of like Galactus. All of the characters are riding these dragons that they treat like warships.
Okay.
So it's basically dragons set during the Napoleonic Wars. So it follows history throughout the whole series.
Wow.
And
That's
they
pretty
treat
incredible.
them like warships. And you have tiny little people that you have to focus in on, but also the giant dragon. So it was the
So-
scale thing was tough.
But for you, what I'm hearing is it wasn't unlike having the familiarity from reading the comics,
Right.
because you already have read the
I had
books.
done all that.
Yeah.
research, Yeah.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Very, very
This
cool.
was actually way tougher.
Way tougher. Now, so explain what you did there.
Well, for the Ships and Pilots set, Lucasfilm approves everything that goes through TOPS. So TOPS, you have to send a preliminary sketch to. That goes to Lucasfilm, and usually they send minor edits, nothing big.
Yeah.
Then it comes back to you, and you do the finished piece. Then they really nitpick it. Usually having to do with like the decals on the ships, the style of the ships, making sure that your reference was from an actual film or cartoon, and not from a model that someone built on their,
Gotcha.
3D printer.
Well, I want to open up the questions for the audience, if the audience has any questions for these guys. Oh, Matt first.
Might be a coincidence.
Hey, Matt.
But from here, did you intend it to look like she's playing a guitar? 'Cause
Oh.
from here, that was the first thing I thought. I didn't realize it was a chip.
Yeah. Yes and no. Yes, in a way.
Yeah, that's wild.
I actually have a guitar next to my, in my
Yeah,
studio.
that was a good reference.
It was one of those. That's why you picked that.
Yeah. Good. Thank you, Matt, and then Steve.
You mentioned that for the Midnight Sun set that just came out, yeah, you didn't know a lot of the characters from there too. What's your process to go about researching them? Like, how do you reference them and figure out what they are before you draw them?
Well, they're very specific, so what they
Thank
do
you.
is they'll give me a specific era. Like even like Wolverine, they're just like, that's the yellow and blue, So they'll give me a specific era, like it's got to be Danny Ketch, whatever, or The Vengeance. And like sometimes they'll even give you an issue every once in a while. But basically, I just have to look up imagery off of that because you don't want to delay the project. Like I can't go back and read a bunch of comics. Like sometimes I can, and it's nice when I can. But you kind of just got to get the ball rolling, mainly because there's so many pieces. So like, for example, if I do like a comic cover, like one image, there is some time to like kind of get more in depth. But when you're doing like 12, 13 cards, there isn't much time to like go into depth on everything.
Yeah.
But I know a majority of the characters, like Howard the Duck. I don't necessarily know what's going on in the comics now, but I have enough experience with a lot of the characters from the past.
Yeah. When it comes to interacting with the community, like say the collectors, what do you enjoy most about that part of the process?
So I'm actually new with the community.
Really?
Yeah, I did not know there was a large community of original art collectors specifically for card art. So with the Midnight Suns, in terms of people asking to purchase cards, that's kind of my first interactions with the communities. But so far, everybody's been really cool.
Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. So obviously,
I've had an amazing experience. I mean, I do 15, 20 cons throughout the country and abroad each year. And the last 3 years with the Star Wars stuff in particular, it's been awesome. I mean, I've sold, I would say, half, if not more, of all the Star Wars stuff I've done. And a lot of it is to people at conventions.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I collect Hera. That's my favorite character. I gotta have that.
so let's say we have somebody who's not here at OAX and they wanted to purchase something or be able to reach out to you guys. What are you working on, and how would they do that?
So, do you want to go?
Oh yeah, so I'm mostly working in comics right now. I'm doing a series called Cul-de-sac for Bad Idea. I also have Florence and Normandy coming out. That's with Rodney Barnes, the writer of Philadelphia. I'm also working on a number of like covers and stuff like that, all NDA'd at the time, but they'll be coming out soon.
Yeah.
So it's mostly comic stuff and some painted covers. No card art in the immediate future, but I'm going to see if I can get something rolling on that.
1 second, Govar. So as a collector, it's a thing for us to have someone who created the art for the actual licensed art to do sketch cards. Is there any opening for that with you? And if so, how would they reach out to you?
I don't have any sketch cards. You're talking about
Like we would
official,
give you a
printed
blank
ones.
and then you would sketch it.
Just contact me on that. I'm not exactly sure what it was. I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know what Upper Deck's policy is, but for the other company I worked with, I think you're not supposed to like work on sketch cards, right? Like blanks or
Never,
something?
that's never stopped me from asking, but
Like, I know with Topps, it just depends upon what you're.
well, we want to honor your relationship with
Okay.
them.
Like,
But if it's
I
open,
don't know, so
Yeah.
Mine's been very 50-50. It depends on the set.
Oh, really? Okay.
And then what are you working on, and how can we reach out to you?
I would say through my website or social media, but I'm currently doing books 2 and 3 of the Naomi Novik series, and then I have 3 sets that I'm working on right now for Star Wars, different ones.
Very cool. Very cool.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Any other questions from the live audience? All right. Well, we'll wrap it up. By the way, thank you so much for giving us your time and your art. It's why we're here. Like that's what calls people from all around the world to just rally in one location to be able to appreciate. And without creators, it doesn't exist. So really appreciate that.
Yeah, well, thanks for having us. And I just want to throw it, I mean, I know you're trying to wrap it up.
Yeah, no, you're good.
I just want to throw it out. The response to my Midnight Suns cards was really nice, and I was not expecting that at all. So I'm very appreciative to the community that they, especially since they're kind of weird, they're a little off-center cards. So I'm just wanting to express my appreciation that everybody's very accepting of the work I did on that set.
Absolutely.
So thank you.
No, thank you. Really appreciate you. All right, everybody, thank you for watching. Do me a favor, hit that like button. And if you're new, hit the subscribe button. And thank you to OAX for making this possible and giving Marvel Cards a platform to be celebrated.